Welcome to the Entrepreneurship Vertical, the course Startup Formation and Scalability. Present title Budgeting and Forecasting. In the startup, we need to understand economy, how much amount we are spending, how much amount we are going to spend, in what aspect we are going to spend this amount, everything we need to understand. That's why in the course startup formation we have included the title budgeting and forecasting. Budgeting in general we have doing in the financial year. We mentioned FY 24-25, FY 25-26. Forecasting means forthcoming year, what is our plan in the expense and how much income we are going to plan. Exactly for government aided, government funded project, we need to give budget as well, we need to forecast. Being a startup company, we have a few members per manpower. The same time, regular expense we have, how much amount we are getting from the government side, everything we need to understand. Budgeting and forecasting help to formulate strategies, plan effectively for the future, and align goals across the entire organization. Being the startup, we have well established budget. Based on the budget, we need to forecast. While budgeting involves planning the company revenue and expense for specific time work. Being first 1 or 2 years in the startup journey, the company expense may be more, but the revenue part it may be very less. How to enhance the revenue? We need to forecast. So year wise, financial year wise, we need to understand what is the budget required, how much amount of expense we are going to plan, the same time what is the revenue. Here, a budget is an estimation of income and expense over the specified period. I already mentioned financial year 24-25. During that period, what is the income? Income generated. For startup company, we are assuming how much grant we are receiving from the government, or at present, what is the support from the angel investor. We are always taking this as an income. What are the expense in the regular expense? Our machinery cost, raw material cost, manpower cost. Our members are also working in the company because already we have registered a private limited. If you are, though it's a startup, for DPIT registration, before DPIT registration, we need to undergo the formality for private limited. Then we have a legal expense. Then we have the expenditure particularly for accounting and sometime for evaluation for accounts officer. So audited amount also we are going to spend. These are always in the specified period. It is a financial plan. Last unit we discussed about a business plan. For startup company, we have two different plan. One is business plan. 9 block business plan canvas also we studied. Here financial plan. The financial plan that is created and adjusted periodically. How much income source, revenue generated, what is our expenditure. We have a regular expenditure. Regular expenditure include rent of the building, manpower, how many people are working. These are under the fixed one. Budget can be designed for individuals. We are going to do here for particularly startup company. Sometimes budget designed mainly for family, business, organization, government. For all the time, we need to understand what is the income, what is the expense. Depends on that, we need to adjust the budget. The budget estimation of income and expense over a specified period of time. Financial year 24-25, this is a specified period. Here, major three types of budget: budget, balanced budget, surplus budget, deficit budget. Balanced budget occurs when total revenue are equal to or greater than total expenditure. This type of budget is often evaluated after the year's revenue and expense have been recorded. Most of the time, balanced budget means when total revenue are equal to or little bit greater than the expenditure. Surplus budget is when income or receipt exceed the expenditure. Surplus budgets are commonly associated with the government financial planning and indicate efficient financial management. Deficit budget happen when expense exceed the income. In terms of government finance, when this happened, the signal may be immediately response to revenue. So we have major three types of budget: balanced budget, a surplus budget, deficit budget. Most of the time, we like to understand for startup company in the balanced budget. Forecasting is always involved with budget. Forecasting involves making future event that could affect a company. We have a business plan. For that business plan, we have unique selling proposition, who are our paying customer, what is the track we have, everything we are undergoing for business plan. Here forecasting involves mainly related with expense and income. What are the finance source available in terms of grant or some other angel investor? These are the income part. The regular expense we have rent, manpower handling, then machinery cost. These are regular expense. In addition to what are the other expense? Sometimes overhead charge also major expense. These are the things we need to forecast. Forecasting helps company make suitable decision, plan and manage the risk. After 1 year, sudden expense rise based on the forecasting we can avoid. Analyzing the forecasting mainly depends on the analysis. Analysis include understanding historical data. Previous year, what is our expense? Before that, neighboring company, similar product, what are their budget statement? Based on that, we can forecast. Method includes analysis of historical previous year data. So forecasting means forthcoming year, what is our financial plan? What is our income source? What are the expenditure? What is the revenue generated? All those things we need to predict. Most of the time, marketing people understand the potential of the company, market potential of the company. Based on that, they are finalizing the revenue part. Now, we have a classification of forecasting process. This classification already I expressed that forecasting based on the previous year database. Here, according to the database type, based on the forecast previous year database, based on the economy, based on the methodology, we have four major according to the four major title: based on the database, based on the time, based on the economy, based on the methodology. The forecasting process based on the database, we are dividing into qualitative forecasting and quantitative forecasting. Quantitative forecasting, we are always expressing in terms of numerical. For qualitative expression, we are giving excellent, good, very good, sometime understandable, sometime maybe improvement. We are writing in terms of words. In quantitative way, we are giving number. Time based forecasting, short term forecast, medium term forecast, long term forecast, based on the economy, micro level, then industry level, firm level. Micro, medium, large, these are the based on the revenue, how much, what is our budget. Here, methodology, time based, process based, these are the major classification of forecasting. Forecasting, different department giving different way. Here, mainly for economic forecasting. That's why this forecasting connected with budget. Forecasting based on the database, I already explained. Based on the previous year database, what are the expenditure? What are the income generated? Is it possible to regenerate again? Based on the time, short term, medium, and long term. Here based on economy, micro, industry, firm. Then based on the methodology, time to time. Process depends on the process. We have major classification of forecasting. Here, please find the difference between budget and forecast. That's why in this startup, we are having one side budget, income and expenditure detail in the stipulated period. This is budget. Prediction of future performance of the company based on the economies. This is called forecasting. So major different forecasting, we are planning to predict based on the data available, time period, methodology. These are the major key factor. Here budgeting, we have total expenditure, another one total income. What are the income source? Based on the income source, what is the expenditure? So budget based on the expense and the income, we have major three type. Focusing on setting a financial goal in the budgeting. Here in the forecasting, predict future performance. Based on the future performance only, we can move next level. Now, in the budget and forecasting, we have four major heading: vision, then detail, steering, desire. Vision statement. Where do you see your business? Where is your business? Understanding of your business. That is our vision. What changes need to happen? Communication through transparent way. These are the major vision. Then detail, management and owners need to know the details. Build expectation based on the details and sales trend. Based on the sales trend, we are planning for future. The details include build expectation based on the details of sales trend. Then steering, stimulating. Use the budget and forecast to steer the business. Build new forecasting for every month. So what is the desire? Owners' desires need to be that the budget, build your guessing based on vision, detail, and steering. So these help our company future plan: vision, detail, steering, and desire. Now Planning, budgeting, forecasting. First, already we discussed about the vision statement. Vision, based on that we are deriving the value. In the value analysis, we are fixing some target setting. The target setting, particularly for this financial year, our sales target 100 CR. Based on that, we need to project the budgeting for next year, forecasting what are the income source and what is the revenue generated. So these are the cyclic process: planning, budgeting, forecasting. In the planning, we have a vision statement, then value drive analysis, then target setting, create high level multi-year plan by function. This is first planning. Then budget, based on our plan, we need to execute for stipulated period. What are the income source? What are the expenditures? Then adapt a driver based historical based data, create expense sheet as well income. These are called budgeting. Build a process workflow. Then we have a forecasting. Future forecast, reliability on the stipulated controlled time. Adopt driver-based historical data for future development. Update forecast on expansion of the basis. So planning, budgeting, forecasting, these are the three major steps, particularly for startup, to improve their vision, mission and future plan. Now we have step-by-step business budget template planning cycle. First plan, step 1, establish company objective and goal. What is the major objective? What is our mission statement? What is the vision statement? Then what are the goals we need to adjust? Then review budgeting from previous year. Previous year 23-24, in the budget, what are the expense involved? What are the income source? Now how much amount of revenue generated? This is the very first one. Then forecast the revenue. What is the revenue generated? Based on the revenue generation, we are going to plan next level. Then establish the fixed cost. The fixed cost include rent or land cost, then machinery cost, then immediately one important one factor, manpower cost. These are the regular fixed cost. So regular fixed cost plus variable cost, we need to understand the break-even point. Based on the break-even point, we need to forecast for next year. Forecasting based on the database of the previous year. So first step, establish a company objective and goal. Review the budget from the previous year. Then forecast the revenue. Then fourth step, establish a fixed cost. Then fifth one, differentiate variable cost. Variable cost depends on the volume of sales. So here we need to understand how much volume we are going to sell. So are we achieving the target and all? Then create a budget for stipulated period. What are the expenditure involved? What is the revenue generated? Based on that, we need to engage with business budget. So budget plan is different, business plan is different. Again, assign the budget to the department. Based on the total budget, we need to allot for this department, purchase department this much, marketing this much, manufacturing here, quality control. So then monitor the progress. We are giving a budget, total expenditure, how much amount they are spending for first month, second month. Based on that, we need to adjust that amount. Some department having surplus money, from that we need to get from the other department, we need to go for again. Based on that final, we need to evaluate. total how much expenditure happened, how much amount is income source, then how much amount is revenue. So these are the 10 step involved. We call step by step business budget template planning cycle, starting from establishing of the objective and goals, ending with the evaluation. It covers all the point. So finally, summarizing budgeting and forecasting. Budgeting means analysis of expenditure and incomes with the stipulated time. Forecasting means estimation based on the previous year database. What is the expense happening? What is the future plan of the company? For almost all startup, we need to understand budgeting as well as forecasting. With this, we will conclude what is budgeting and forecasting. Thank you. Again, we will see in the different heading, particularly in the heading business legal structure. Thank you.